No, thank you very much, Acting Secretary. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Deputy Chair of Sanef, fellow presiding officers, senior journalists. I must say the Acting Secretary put me off a little bit because initially we were told that no, we must have something that we are going to present to this engagement. But then as she was speaking, I thought, will I really be doing the right thing by presenting what has been prepared or what we have thought it's important? You'll forgive me if I do not do that formal part, because by impressions he's saying to me that, yes, let's forget about Parliament a little bit and be as informal and interactive as we can. It is for that reason I take the opportunity to welcome all of us, and of course, as the Acting Secretary said, we found it necessary as the leadership of the institution to have this kind of engagement with the media fraternity. And that is precisely because of we understand and depart from the point that you are a very important sector of in society. You inform society, you educate society, you formulate ideas, perceptions, and all that. And as a result, it is quite important that we have this kind of an engagement. And of course, we would know that as an important sector within society, if there is no engagement with you, the chances or likelihood is that we might misunderstand certain things, or even we might misinterpret certain things. And therefore, this kind of an activity or engagement is quite important. We have been grappling with this for quite some time, and we know historically there has been an uneven level of engagement with the media. Because what we found out from the previous parliaments, the key question that we had to pause and ask ourselves is to say that at what point or to what extent can we say the media fraternity is, should I say, friend, but not, we are not pocketing you. We are not saying you must be our mouth, you must be our mouthpiece. But to what extent do we build a relationship, and a relationship that will be able to contribute towards the deepening and, of course, development and strengthening of our democracy? Because without information, obviously, it will not be possible. And if also that information is not properly channeled, it's not properly communicated, it might also not assist us in doing certain things. We have seen certain expressions being communicated out there, and how then we, as Parliament, respond to that becomes very much interesting. It has always been interesting to want to know, or in posing the question, to what extent does the media fraternity understand Parliament and therefore foster good relationships with Parliament? Outside of the dramatization or the drama that is taking place now in Parliament, what gets communicated out there, looking at Parliament insofar as its mandate is concerned, given by the Constitution, as the strategic institution that must guide and strengthen our democracy and ensure that our Parliament plays the role that it is supposed to play? We are lawmakers. We say we are lawmakers. Do our people understand outside there how these laws are developed, how committees function, how committees process legislation. Ours is also about people's participation. Do our people understand, or are we in a position to say that the media of South Africa is positioned enough to communicate clearly exactly what is it that what we mean when we talk about public participation? At what point do our people participate? And how then do they add value to that constitutional responsibility of ensuring that our people understand and have a better way of engaging even with Parliament? Because what we communicate out there is what our people will consume, and as a result, they will make their own conclusions. We've got committees, for instance, in Parliament. These committees are doing a lot of work. Committees are going out to do oversight. Committees are going out to do follow-ups. Committees are going out to engage with our people, to work with our people. To what extent has there been an appetite within the media fraternity to say, but what is oversight and how is it implemented in Parliament? How does committees of Parliament, for instance, function and ensure that our people have got a better understanding to be part and parcel of the processes? As we do our oversight work, what are the kind of challenges that we pick up in the kind of work that we're doing, and how is that work also communicated to our people? Outside of the limited space that is being created, either through media, television reports, that 3 minutes and so forth, where a snippet of a dramatic event is then communicated, and it becomes the main issue. When in actual fact there is so much, and there is so very much important issues that Parliament is preoccupied with, but our people do not get that kind of information. It is for that reason that we thought it is important that we have this kind of engagement in order to enhance and broaden our own understanding of what this institution is all about. Interestingly, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, House Chairpersons and our senior journalists, there was an interesting issue that I once came across when I was interviewed by a senior journalist. Now, he was interviewing me as a House Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces then, as I was in the previous term. Now, he kept on referring to Parliament. And I said, but do you really understand what Parliament is? Do you understand what the Constitution says about, or how the Constitution defines Parliament? Because the line of questioning is about the National Assembly. And in actual fact, I am here, you are engaging with me as a House Chairperson from the National Council of Provinces. And there's nothing that you're asking me about the National Council of Provinces, but there's consistent reference to Parliament, for which the Constitution says Parliament is made up of 2 houses, which is the National Council of Provinces and the National Assembly. That is Parliament. And how then do you begin to understand that? And he then said to me, I didn't know that. Very interesting. It was not a stupid thing to say. It was a very interesting thing. Because, of course, sometimes we go out there thinking that we understand our own institutions and how our institutions function, only to find out we tend to be diverted, or we tend to overemphasize one against the other. Not that I'm defending now the character of the National Council of Provinces and so forth, but I was just dealing with this issue of how we understand Parliament. It is for that reason that we thought it will be quite engaging, it will be quite interesting, that we do not stop now. This is a starting process. We are introducing this thing, and we wish to further work with our media fraternity in ensuring that we educate our people out there. We work with Parliament and ensure that South Africa is fully behind what Parliament does and how it seeks to transform and improve the lives of ordinary South Africans, particularly your rural poor, particularly your unemployed, particularly your less skilled. What is it that we are doing as Parliament to advance that? I can see the acting secretary is already approaching. But it is good that I did what I did, because if I were to focus here, I would have taken 15 or 20 minutes. And definitely there would have been a point of order. Or maybe the speaker would have said, your time is up, honorable member. And therefore, as a result of the temptation to fall into drama, and then I asked the speaker, but who says my time is up? I'm speaking here, I'm elected. And then it gets reported as the headline. Did Tau challenge the speaker? When in actual fact, the content insofar as what Tau was communicating is not even reported. Not even a sentence of it is reported. But we hope that with this relationship that we are building from today, we'll work together. And I must apologize. Sorry very much, very, very much. I'm very sorry not to have gone through what has been prepared. But you are willing to have it. Acting Speaker, I'm sorry if I took much of your time.
Yes, thank you very much, Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. I think that sets the tone. As I said, we want to keep this as informal as we can. And at this note, I'm going to ask our Speaker of the National Assembly, Ms. Baleka Mbete, to come make her presentation and share views. And I do want to say that we will have an opportunity for some clarity, questions, interaction with the various speakers. Thanks. Over to you, Speaker.
Yeah, good.